Hello, welcome to Heroes Explain, where today's episode we're gonna explain how to create a hero.
Which isn't that difficult, in my opinion.
It is not.
But you guys, I guess, went on a rant. Mr. Wolf was like, oh, it's super hard to do.
No, I didn't go on a rant about how hard. I said it is pretty difficult because it is. Making
the backstories is the most difficult part. I honestly think the backstory is
I don't
the
know.
most
Making
difficult.
an unoriginal character is pretty hard too.
Okay, so we're going to be using a randomizer, which I'll have in, I think, the description or however I've been putting it. There's like a superhero randomizer website that I think I've been putting in almost every video we made in the description, I think. Whatever.
And it's gonna give us a random power, and we're gonna develop a character on the
Ram-
spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll probably I'll probably do it, the randomizer, like, you want to do like where I just do 3 times and you just pick one out of the 3 that we do, or we just do straight up one and whatever you
time.
get. Okay,
One
whatever
time.
you get, you got. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first
Okay.
because
Okay,
I'm
Mr. Wolf is
best.
going first. This is gonna be his superpower. Let's see what it is.
Parasite immunity. Okay, parasite immunity is not a very useful, but not useful. Okay.
It's just pretty much.
So how I usually make my
Parasite.
characters is I usually think of what they look like and then I develop the character from there. So
Right.
what he would look like is he always wears normal clothes because I don't know, he's not a superhero.
Well,
So
I would just tweak this way, and I think he should just have him immune to all viruses and whatever and diseases.
okay.
That's his superpower.
So pretty much-
so it's a super clean freak.
Pretty much
How about that?
No.
No, it's
because
your
he-
character. Your character.
He pretty much wears normal clothes and he goes to alien planets because usually, there's viruses and stuff. So he's immune to it and explores new planets for the NASA people. And pretty much
And
he
deals with biohazard materials.
No. He pretty much just goes to planets
Okay.
and if they have viruses, I don't know.
Honestly, that would be a very handy power to have against like people that do plagues and viruses.
But most
and stuff.
people don't
And
do
then
that.
you'd be an awesome doctor too because you couldn't get sick. Well, whatever.
But I haven't
So this
created
is wait.
molten metal mercury.
Mimicry. So, pretty much they turn their entire body into molten metal. And we didn't really say
Who was
who
gonna
was
take?
like.
So it's gonna be
technically this doesn't
No,
count.
it does. It's Bob's.
So
Go.
it's mine. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm getting this molten metal
Yeah.
mimicry. So it's molten metal because we didn't really say it. It doesn't say what metal. It's just metal. So he could change his body to different types of metal. So this is how his ability will work. Since it's kind of a vague thing, molten metal. So he turns into pretty much molten metal, like it says, mimicry. So he can change to different types of metal. The catch is he has to be touching it. Whatever metal he's touching, it'll turn in. But the default is iron, since you have iron in your blood. So the default, he doesn't have to be touching, but to like turn into molten iron metal mimicry stuff. But if he's like touching Lightanium, which is an ore that I was gonna actually bring in the next Kingdom Explained video that I would make a little touch up on that. He can turn into molten Lightanium, or he can turn into molten
Liquidite.
brimstone, or
Well,
Liquidite.
Brimstone's more of a rock than a metal, but
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. So molten metal. So before this thing started, I kind of wanted to do this, but we already started the video and it like slipped my mind. But I was like, we should all make Prohibition era characters. Like all these characters that we're making up now will be in the Prohibition era, but it's too late. Way too late.
okay. So what's his name?
Okay.
What's his?
So I'm gonna think of it as we're looking at Jammers thing because
Yay.
we don't have. It's just time compression.
Time compression. What would that even be?
The user,
The anti-aging or
the
something?
user can compress the flow of temporal energy. Whatever. What is this? Why is it
playing?
I don't know why this ad is playing. Okay,
Okay.
there. I muted. I wonder if the mic caught that.
I hope not.
No, so space and dimension, and
It's taking us a while.
so pretty much
Okay.
you can stop the flow of time
Oh.
and compress it around one person. So you can prevent somebody from aging, or like
Keep him frozen in time.
sealed off a certain area in time. That's what it seems like it's saying.
1970.
So.
Yeah. So pretty much you can stop the flow of time.
I have no clue what I should do for this.
Well, you could take your time and try and figure out something.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, once you have your cool superhero power thought of, there's different ways. So, Mr. Wolf, you do names first, right?
No, what I do is outfits first, and that pretty much shapes my character, which sounds
So
stupid.
you look at the shape and what the character looks
Usually,
like,
I think,
and then fill in the
yeah, I
blank.
think of what they would look like, and then I'm like, who is this character? So then I work on a power for him, and then I work on a name, then backstory, and you know.
Okay, but we're doing this a little. So some people usually do the way Mr. Wolf does it, where they think of the character first and then fills in the detail. I do it where I think of the superpower first, then I think of what kind of person would have that ability and kind of fill in the blanks from there. Most of the time I also think of like what time zone I'm going to do this in. So like I said, I kind of wanted to do, well, this guy with this molten metal ability. Ooh, wait, he can be the grandfather to metal, who has the ability to turn into different types of metal. I already made the character up. He's like number 15 on my list of made up characters. Whatever. That was actually, I'm happy I got the molten thing. So now I already have. Here it is first, folks. The grandfather of average superhero. Molten.
Okay, Jammers, are you ready?
I actually thought of a little bit of him. I'm gonna actually.
Ooh, Steel Mill. How doesn't that sound cool for a superhero name?
Yes.
Steel Mill. That's his name. Sorry to cut you off. I'm just on this roll now, and I don't want to stop.
So I'm gonna actually put him in the Night Sage because I can, so I can actually go deeper when I actually get ideas.
So you're
But-
adding him in the Night Sage.
Yes, so he's gonna be in the Night
Why
Sage.
can't
So
or you can have him be the Ghost of Japan's nemesis.
I could, but I already thought of this.
Or
entire-
Okay, go.
Whatever.
Just go.
Whatever. I should
So-
stop.
He's gonna be like assassin, bounty hunter-ish thing. He's wearing
Mercenary.
Yeah, pretty much.
mercenary of medieval times, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's gonna be wearing all black, like this black mask, black hoodie thing. And what he would use with his powers is he would surround an area with arrows. He would just pause them where they are, and then have it where he can like unpause them, shooting them, killing their target if they ever walk towards where he has them. So yeah, he can pretty much rig up traps easily and then freeze like places around so he can get in there fast and get out.
Like Epithea Race.
So wait, I finally figured out what my character should be. The last one was kind of stupid. He will work in the present time for a company that I never made a name
What-
for because
what
it's
did
a
he get?
secret
He
organization.
got parasitic.
Anti-parasitic.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what he does, since we said it's antivirus and stuff, what he does is he created,
Yeah.
he used his blood and synthesized it to go into different experiments that so they couldn't be
cure
affected
them.
by viruses because they kept dying so quick of the viruses of the what is it called, the stuff they were getting injected with the serums. So he kept them alive using his antivirus blood. But in the end, he was killed by the main people to keep him quiet about the whole what is it called, the whole what do you call
What?
What?
The whole scheme, I don't know, what do you
Scheme
call it?
of what?
The
Viruses?
Target, it's the
Target project?
speedster program, everything, all that.
Blue Racer
He was
and all
in-
that stuff.
yeah.
He was in it. Okay.
So
Yeah.
he pretty much kept that
I-
alive.
I don't think we ever discussed the Target program at all.
No,
We didn't, but
that's
it's
in the
a future.
So this
program.
is all just little nuggets that you'll probably get later down the road. Stay tuned because they're pretty awesome. So steel mill. That's what I said, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Steel mill.
Just to let you in on an inside, Bubs is writing down another character into his books of character, which would make this 250 characters that he has written down.
250. This is the 250th character I've made up. So yeah. Oh, wow.
This might be
I need
really
water.
Okay.
Well, anyways, so yeah, I have a book where I write down so when you make superheroes, I do recommend this when you first start off making superheroes. If you're planning on making a bunch of characters, I have a book, and you know how some books have those lines in it for like schools and stuff purposes to keep the words looking nice. So what I do is for each line, I put the code name, superhero name thing first. So I'm putting Steel Mill first, then I do like a line dash thing, then I write the real name, like, what's Metal's, where's Metal? I'm pretty sure I wrote them in. Whatever, I do their real name second, so here's the example. I'll do...
Just do.
Death Hands is a character's code name. What is his, like, superpower name, whatever. But his real name is Daniel Phil Hands. Daniel Phil, like in Phil Coulson, Hands, as in the stuff you use to grab stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking for Metal for a moment.
But yeah, pretty much that's a great way to memorize. And if you ever become big like we will become, you can be like, hey, this was the first character I written down. And if you happen, like, make 2 books, like, written characters, because you'll probably lose one. So always write 2 books. Because I made the mistake of only doing 1. And
I did
lost
one
it.
and I haven't lost it because I put it in the exact same spot over and over.
I know,
again.
but if you're like me, sometimes you lose stuff, so make 2.
Okay, I think I found Metal, but I'm not sure because I think I made other characters.
So-
Whatever. So yeah, once you have the superpower down, and then the name of the character, you have to figure out where you want him to be, like where your story's gonna be told. And then that usually plays a role on how they look and act.
And the other thing is, when you're if you have multiple characters, make sure to interlink all their backstories and stuff. Some you could keep separate, but most of the time I'll link my stories at certain times and link them together. And so it's always helpful to, keep that in mind. Like,
So,
where can I
Jobbers,
put
did
them?
you have something you wanted to say?
Huh?
Do you have
You-
anything you
it
would
looked
say?
like you wanted to say something earlier before I cut you off. Oh! Nothing. It's... Yesterday I was talking to somebody over Discord. Plug in. No, should we? Nah, maybe. Whatever. I kind of made a Discord server for us, but I'm not into... Wow, I'm dying. I'm dead. Okay, whatever. So I kind of put together a Discord server. So if the comments work, because for some reason our last video, the comments thing isn't enabled, and I don't know how to enable it. There's some weird issue. It's whatever.
So comment down below how to fix it. Oh!
If the comment section works, and if it doesn't work, there should be a thing like a community thing on our main page. I think most YouTubers, every YouTuber have it. If you go to the channel, you know how it goes videos and then like playlists. Isn't there like a community thing?
I don't know.
If
But
there's a community thing and you can type like chat there, please, whatever. just chat there. If there's no comments on this video, again, then just comment there saying yes, you want us to do the Discord server, or no, we shouldn't. And if we do the Discord server, it'd be more complicated. I would need like somebody to help oversee over it, like a moderator or admin, whatever it's called, because I'm not gonna be watching over it 24/7.
Okay, what else are we gonna be talking about?
We are gonna talk about.
Yeah, never mind. You guys go.
We are gonna talk about our favorite character we ever made.
Oh, our favorite character. So, how about this? We say the one we had the most fun making, the one we enjoy the most as like
Playing as,
and then the one we just really like the looks and whatever that we have imagining for and the story or whatever. So hon, first is the most fun we were creating. Second was the most fun playing as. Then the third is the one that has what we think is the most fun storyline wise.
Okay.
Creating, okay? So, most fun making up. Should I go first or you?
I'll go first. So my my funnest to make up, his name is the Bunny Head Man, and he's pretty much at the beginning of time, he was one of the first people that was created, but he was deformed and was messed up, and he was a giant human-sized bunny. And so he made metal gloves and metal around him, so it looked like he was a person in the suit that dressed up as like a bunny, like a metal bunny. But in all truth, he was actually a real bunny. And so why I liked making him is he could get into trouble, and like he's pretty much like the missing link. You know, nobody really knows about him, but they do. You know, nobody's really seen him.
Be quiet.
So pretty much he's one of my
he really
favorite.
wanted to join. He wants to join it and whatever.
Okay.
So
Jammers.
Okay, my favorite person that I've made up to like enjoy creating, his name is Rick. Like he's a blast. So
Rick is the one you enjoyed the most when you created.
Yes.
Okay.
That is why. Who do you think I would have the most enjoy?
Go ahead, continue.
Because Rick is an insane serum thing, and yeah, so he comes from a vial and he makes anybody who takes the vial go insane, and he's pretty much a giant mental person who just tries to take over the world to make it his personal madhouse.
I don't even know how to pronounce
And pretty much that serum, which we'll talk about later, has made a lot of our more
can
crazy
you put my pen
characters.
away? Yeah. Hold on, no, wait. I think I'm not done using
And
it.
so now, Bubs.
Bubs, yeah. So the one I had the most fun creating is... He's just chatted. Okay, whatever, sorry. My computer is hooked up to Discord and somebody's sending me messages and stuff, whatever. The one I think I had the most fun creating is tied between two. A guy called Mentos, because it was on the fly, super stupid and random. And I created two other dudes with him. And then, but it's tied between him and Puppety Corn. Because I was just loopy and having too much popcorn. Whatever. It's between those two that I had the most fun creating. Hopefully it's got...
What was the second one?
So what? So it's most fun creating, most fun playing as.
Okay, most fun playing as. Jammers is gonna start this because I have to think.
I'm gonna say a name. It might sound made up, but it is. Razzlequack is my favorite person to play as. He is pretty much a living cartoon. He has the power of cartoon logic on his side. He can bend stuff. Yeah, he's pretty much...
Cartoon logic is the most broken power you can ever make.
So yeah, it's pretty much a cartoon guy who just travels
A real
throughout
life
the world.
cartoon character. So you can smash them, crush them, grind them into dust, and they could just instantly reform.
Yep, that's my first. Like, that's the person who I love playing as.
Bubs.
You.
I
okay.
still can't think. Okay.
So, this is another thing. So, people probably don't know, but there's a thing called Lego Marvel Superheroes. It was which one was the one with the New York and the helicarrier?
Lego Marvel Super.
Yeah, that was the first one. Whatever.
Yeah.
Lego Marvel. So, I made up a character in the game called Bacon and another character called Frosty. So Agent Bacon and Agent Frosty were like two super agents, whatever, I made up in the game. And I really enjoyed playing as those characters in the game. But as like role-playing with just words and stuff and actions and stuff and not inside a video game, the one I enjoyed the most playing as would have to be either Duplicate or Gobby. And I'll be touching Duplicate soon in the next couple of videos of the Kingdoms because he makes an appearance. But yeah, Duplicate or Gobby, an actual role-playing scenario, but as a virtual world gaming scenario, it was Bacon and Frosty.
Okay, well, I got it. My favorite probably person to play as that I can think of right now is Arctic Blast. And he has a brother who has ice powers too, but like I won't go in depth, but he pretty much is a common crook who likes to rob like casinos and banks and stuff, and he's pretty much not a big picture guy, he's more of a small picture guy. But he's fun because of his power set. It's pretty much just ice powers, I don't know. It's fun.
So the final thing we said, wasn't it? It's like most fun storyline.
Yeah.
I think. Do you want to go, Mr. Wolf?
The one you enjoyed making a storyline, backstory.
My
whatever.
favorite to make backstory, and this is pretty obvious
Not
to
just like
Bubs
to
Bubs and Jummer, it's pretty obvious, but it's Red Phantom. He literally, I took a lot of time creating his whole storyline from literally World War I all the way to 20, I think it was like 75 or something. And literally, he's a person who his whole family that he thought was killed. Only a few survived, which was him, his sister, his brother, and his other brother. The one brother they couldn't catch because he was in it was around World War II time, so they couldn't catch him because he was in Germany. So he was way too, like he was the best soldier, you know. His other brother pretty much went whale hunting and stuff and fishing and pretty much made a life for himself. The Red Phantom pretty much gave away his sister because he knew he couldn't take care of her because he was very little at the time. But the whole time it's like an up and down story, sad, tragedy, but also like happiness. And it was a great story, which I'll touch on him later, but he's great.
One of my favorite storylines that I made up as a character, it's gonna make 0 sense. I still haven't made a name for him. The one, the only, Madman who made the bunny head ship.
That's his name. That's his legit name. I have said that is his legit
It's not
name.
really a legit name. It's just what people
It's what
call
he's
him.
known for. That's what people call him. That's his name. That's his name. And
So,
people call you
Are
that.
we doing the picture thing? Because then I can just...
Yeah, well, the picture would be up around this
the
time.
green-haired guy...
The guy in the green hair, if I did install the picture, which I'm pretty sure I will,
That will be the madman who made the bunny head ship. And the guy
to the far left.
with the mask and...
The mask isn't really the quite...
It's not accurate, and his hair is gray, which I should have
I
clarified.
hired somebody to draw us a picture. I messed up on how to describe his mask. The mask isn't 100% accurate.
It's more rounded and stuff, and he did pretty good with the facial expressions thing.
And the looks. Everything is great but the mask. So
and his
the
hair,
mask is
it's
my fault.
great. He just doesn't age.
And then the one in the middle is connected to the one that had that I enjoy the most making a storyline with. So the one in the middle is called... The person's called Nuclear, codename's Nuclear, but the suit's called Goliath. and Nuclear knows a
We
person.
set it up really well with the
Yeah,
we set it up really well with
Yeah,
the
I
photo.
know.
Like I didn't even think about it, man.
Yeah, it's just looking like this. So she is in love with a person whose name is, well, his code name is Dementio, and he's known as Dementio throughout, like, pretty much multiple things. But he has the ability to travel from one dimension to another by opening like, punching a hole from, whatever, making a portal to link two dimensions together. He can't really pick which dimension to go through. He's just pretty much using energy to hit an oppression point that opens a portal to another dimension. He doesn't really pick and choose. He can like set waypoints and like stuff. Like if he's at a dimension that he was before, he would like, oh, if I go to this certain spot, I know I will lead to this dimension and whatever and stuff. Whatever. I had the most fun making up his storyline because I'm still making up a bunch of stuff for him. Because he's just constantly going from one dimension to another, trying to find his way back home. But during the whole time, since he's moving from like different dimensions, you can add so much to it. So there's like, I made a storyline where he like goes into one dimension and he accidentally becomes king of an entire planet, and then he gets caught up in this galactic war. And then the next time he moves, he gets caught up into this huge thing with somebody who's super powerful that wants to become the most powerful, and accidentally triggers this whole event that almost obliterates my entire dimension. And yeah, stuff.
So that's pretty much our favorite characters.
It's tied between Dementio and Jim Bim Tim. Jim and Tim I love making because I had to put so much thought and detail. And he was in one of our videos previously. So the last video had Jin Bim Tim in it. If you didn't catch that, yeah.
Yeah.
Little Easter egg, woo! For those of you who actually caught it, good for you. And for those of you who didn't caught it, well...
Didn't caught it? You mean didn't catch it?
Catch it, caught it, whatever.
Improper English, people.
I'm trying to draw, and write, and talk at the same time.
But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. We pretty much
But yeah,
covered.
so we haven't really did too much explaining for superheroes. Well, when you're creating a superhero or a villain, it all pretty much just boils down to what's your style, pretty much. So, as Mr. Wolf says, his style is think of the appearance first, and then, like, see what would match with that. Me, I'm like power, and then have the emotions and stuff fit onto the power and slap it. How I usually create my heroes and villains is, I'm like, what does my plot need? What do I need to add? What do I need to throw in to make it, like, work and whatever? So I usually come up with characters to just add to what I have to make it better. Like making some scrambled eggs. You scramble the eggs, you throw it in, you're cooking the eggs, and then you need to like add some salt and some pepper. But if you put too much salt in, it like makes it too salty, and if you add too much pepper, it's horrible. And then what you're gonna do? Throw it out and say it doesn't exist, but it did exist at one point. So you're never gonna get rid of it.
But the thing is, there's never such a thing as called too much salt on anything.
Yeah.
There is nothing called too much salt.
If I gave you pure, hard, raw salt, yeah, edible,
I'd start licking it probably.
and I'd be like, this was a grape. Here you go.
But, okay, John, what do you do when you're creating characters?
Yeah, that's a good question. Nobody ever asked me. Okay, but yeah. So,
I'm not in charge of this, so stop staring.
No.
I just edit the videos. That's all I do.
but yeah, so a lot of the times I either come up with the power first or the personality first.
So you do a little mixture of both of
Yeah,
ours.
a lot of the times I come up with the personality first, so I know like what the mindset goes through, and
And
yeah.
then what power would match that personality?
yep,
Okay.
and then what costume would match the power and personality.
Honestly, only one of my characters, I made the personality first and then the power. And that is Fire Hazard.
Wait, who's doing the next video?
Who's doing the next video? Just one of us, probably me
okay,
or
this is
you
cute,
guys. It just
Whoever wants
does
to
it.
make the next.
Whoever does it
I
first.
want to
does
do
it.
it, to be honest.
You want to do it? Okay.
So the next video...
So what are you gonna be talking about?
The next video-
Here's the scoop. Preview for next video.
Next time on Heroes Explain. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Dun.
But what I'm gonna be doing is talking about one of my favorite characters from the Knight's Age, and it's called Futuristic Knight. And I will pretty much give a big picture about his bloodline, and pretty much it will be a long video, hopefully, if I do it
So you want it
correctly.
like 3 hours long?
No, it's probably gonna be like this video, like 30 minutes long. If I do it
Oh
right.
wow, it is.
Yeah, most of our videos lately have been longer because...
We just get
Yeah.
carried away because, like I said last video, it's something we truly enjoy, so we get caught up in the fun.
Yeah, we truly do get caught up in the fun, and we just make videos for your entertainment, and it's all about us.
All about
Greatness.
us. It's about the heroes that we have created over the year.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. Yeah.
and well, we're gonna be ending the video. It's been long enough, and it's free real estate.
Goodbye, guys. I guess I'm still in between picking a new outro. So
Yeah. And Bub's out.